This is an extreme close-up. Anything from here and closer is going to be referred to as an extreme close-up. So that's, you know, with a long shot, anything long, extreme long shot, anything longer than that is always extreme long shot. This is extreme close-up. Any closer you get is just always going to be called an extreme close-up, unless it's, you know, a microscopic photograph, in which case we're not going to be dealing with that, but, you know, that's mostly a scientific level. But this is a... No, it's a friend of Boland's, but yeah, actually it does. Weird. Okay, so, especially in the projector. If you notice that the edges of his face are out of the frame, when you're doing an extreme close-up of a person, you generally want to keep their eyes within the frame. You know, if it happens to be, if you have a reason for photographing their mouth, you know, if that has to do with the subject of your project, you know, you can have, this could be an extreme close-up, their nose, you don't need to have the eyes in, but if it's an extreme close-up of the person in general, like an extreme close-up portrait, the closer you get, you still want to be focusing on the eyes. You know, some people shoot a photograph that's just this part here, or just, you know, you'll see a lot of photographs that are just a person's eyes. Those are extreme close-ups.
But there's nothing smaller than extreme close-up.
No, the closer you get, it's still just called extreme close-up. Yeah. And like I said, like if you take a picture with a microscope, you wouldn't call it an extreme close-up, you just call it a microscopic shot, but that's the only exception, really. Like, for anything that we're going to be doing, extreme close-up is the closest you'll get. You might have a hard time shooting these, because digital cameras, especially smaller ones, have a hard time getting very close to their subject. But one thing is, you know, if you shoot from 3 feet away, and then you crop the photo down a little bit, you can still end up with an extreme close-up after all. And a lot of the cameras will also have a macro function, which allows you to get a little bit closer, so we'll experiment with that in a little bit. The point of an extreme close-up, you know, obviously the background doesn't matter because there is no background. You can't see anything. It's not about, it ceases to be about a person in place. It's purely about their expression, about their image. You know, it's entirely designed to evoke, you know, it's also not about body language at all anymore. Close-up can even have, you know, position of the face and their head. An extreme close-up has no body language in it. It has no background. It's entirely about facial expression and whatever iconic image we draw from the face. So it's not a shot that's used too regularly in journalism. Art photographers often like to use it, but you may find times when it's important. I've found that when people are photographing very old people sometimes, and to see the age in their face, for example, they'll get extremely close. Same thing with babies, people or small children, people will get extremely close because it accentuates the features of their extremely soft skin, and it really draws out exactly how young they are. So that's one reason you might use it. But really, I mean, these are all techniques, and they're ways in which you can accentuate and highlight different ideas, but you'll find your own ways of using them. And what I want you to do as you think about these shots and as we start to use them, what I want you to do is try and figure out how you can show ideas using these shots. I mean, I don't want to explain too many of the pre-existing uses of them because I want you guys to start to figure them out for yourself. Okay, so these are all of the basic lengths of framing. Does anyone have any questions while we're at this point?